recording. I didn't realize that. Anyway, welcome or welcome back. I'm Jen. This is Jen's Hangout. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, I love you guys so much. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Ring the bell to all so you can be notified of all of our future uploads. Anyway, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose and I didn't think you guys wanted to hear it. So we're going to do a Talk About It Tuesday. That's what I'm going to call this. We are going to be doing more of these as life progresses, right? We have a lot of things that are coming up and happening. I highly recommend you follow me over on Instagram because I post there a lot more frequently, kind of just little blurbs about what's going on for my hand surgeries, stuff like that. But we have more surgeries coming up. We have a lot of medical stuff coming up, and I'm going to try really hard to kind of take you guys along on that journey, because it's really important. It is super important for women's health, I feel. My friend Renee from Beauty and More with Renee, I'll link her down below. She did a whole thing on perimenopause, which is, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, all of these things are things that we just don't talk about as a society. And women go to the doctor and they're like, this and this and this is happening to me, and the doctor says, oh well, all of your tests are normal, so there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine, but I can give you, this and this to help you with your symptoms. When the truth is that those things just make things worse, or they just mask symptoms, right? So there are so many symptoms of perimenopause. Itchy ears. And mind you guys, something to think about here. Perimenopause starts as early as 35. Sometimes earlier. And if you have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, or any kind of other female issue, endometriosis, any of that kind of stuff, you guys know I am a PCOS warrior. I have been through it, and I will go through all of that with you guys too. It is not easy. It's not easy to go to the doctor and have them say, well, you're fine blood work wise, but here, take this pill. Or, oh, well, you have irregular periods, or you have cystic acne, you have facial hair, you have dark patches on your armpits, or velvety patch on your neck area, or you have like the dirt stain around your neck, things like that. You have a very round body with thin legs. Those are all symptoms of PCOS. 1 in 6 women was the last statistic that I saw about it, and I think it's gotten worse. And their solution is one of 3 things. Well, 4. So the first one is birth control. Birth control is their answer for everything. I have been on some form of birth control since I was 12 years old. Started my period when I was 9. These are not normal things. A 12-year-old should never be on birth control pills. Not to mention that they definitely should not be on birth control pills. Women in general, okay? It even says in the packaging, do not exceed 10 years. I was on birth control from 12 until I was 27, 28, when I finally said enough is enough. I have taken so many birth control pills. It is stupid. I never went on the shot. and I never did the implant, like Norplant or anything like that. I did, however, get the Marina IUD, which was taken out about a month after it was put in. It was inserted incorrectly. It did not fit my cervix. And so we felt it. And it was excruciating. So, not to mention that they can implant themselves into your vaginal wall, all of those lovely things. So, and one of my best friends had that happen to her. It inserted itself into her vaginal wall and she had to have it surgically removed. So, there's that. I'm going to do my skincare while I talk to you guys. I hope that is okay. It is Easter week. But, so that's, I know so much about PCOS, it's stupid. It's probably not stupid. It's actually saved my life, in all honesty. But yeah, the doctors, I mean, their solution is, here, take this pill, it'll make everything better. When the reality of the situation is that it doesn't. It actually makes things worse. I'm going to go in with a little bit of, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this. This is the Balancing Toner Mist by Global Beauty Care. Get this at the Dollar Tree. It is a bubble dupe. I do not like the sprayer on it. It is very aggressive. But I do like the feel of the toner. See what I mean? But it is very nice, very cooling. Feels yummy on the skin. But yeah, so, I mean, perimenopause, itchy ears, hot flashes, night sweats, depression, mood swings at the drop of a hat. And how do they treat those things? Spironolactone, metformin, birth control pills, and sometimes HRT, but that's usually only if you're in full-on menopause. All kinds of stuff. This feels amazing. I am having a hot flash right now. But enough of that. I could sit here all day long with a thing on my face. And there's just so many other things. Irregular periods. You guys, we will go over perimenopause in depth on another Talk About It Tuesday. But I want to kind of give you guys what's going on with me. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. When I was 22 years old, no. Yeah, 22 years old. Oh my gosh. I had only been married for a year and a half, 18 months. That was niacinamide, by the way, from The Ordinary. This is the Matrixol 10%. We had been trying to have a baby. We were doing fertility treatments at the time. And my period stopped. And which wasn't necessarily uncommon for me, having PCOS. We were, but I had been sick, right? So we thought I had the flu, and I was in college at the time. We thought I had the flu. This is the Inculus Azelaic Acid Serum. It's great for redness, and it really is phenomenal. My redness is so much less now. And I'm going to mix it with the Ordinaries. This is almost gone. Sorry for the noise, guys. This is the EUK. It is kind of an oil, but not. It really is good for the skin. It's kind of like an antioxidant. And I mean, it's brown, but I only put a couple drops in it. And then I mix them together. So, I had been sick with the flu, and it was around midterm time, which was like Mayish. And I woke up and I told my husband, I said, I have got to go to class because I have my midterms. I have to do them. So it might have been April-ish. I don't, honestly, I can't remember. It's kind of all blur. This you can get from YesStyle. I have a link down below. This is the beta panthenol repair cream by Some By Me. This stuff is amazing. I love this stuff. It's a moisturizing cream, but it really does work. And you don't need much. Anyway, so I went in. I got up to go to class. My husband rolled over, barely touched my belly. I screamed so loud because I was in so much pain and didn't really realize it until he did that. So he said, "You're not going to class, you're going to the emergency room." He took me to the emergency room. They ran a bunch of tests, gave me a bunch of medicine, and they thought I had intestinal cancer. They thought that I had a mass. They did a CT scan and all that stuff, right? They thought I had a mass on my intestines the size of a grapefruit. So needless to say, they sent me up to the university hospital. Now we're going to go in with the Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base, but I'm going to let this moisturizer kind of sit in for a minute. Long story short, they ended up doing exploratory surgery. I had a 5-pound cyst the size of a large melon, ovarian cyst. They removed that. I was in the hospital 2 days, I think. One of the worst times in the world to be in the hospital was during a nurse's strike. They didn't even change my surgical bedding. My mom had to do it. My mom gave me a sponge bath the whole night. It was horrible. Anyway, I ended up with staph infection. So horrifically bad that I had just cups of fluid coming out of me. So they had to go in, take the staples out, blah, 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 blah. That caused other issues, caused me to have another surgery a year later. Anyway, fast forward to now. I've dealt with several cysts over the years. Obviously none that required surgical removal. Probably a couple that should have been, but they ended up bursting. I've had several burst, which of course makes you very sick. If you know, you know on that one. I have one now that is too large to just let go. So Friday, I go see a gynecology oncology surgeon. The risk of cancer is very, very low, but they can't rule it out, so they want to just make sure. And they also do it's a robotic surgery. I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but anyway, so I'm going to try and take you guys on that journey with me. This has been something that I have been fighting against for decades now. I didn't want to give up hope, but now it's going to be a full hysterectomy. I'm going to go into menopause the second I wake up from surgery. They are planning on putting me on hormone replacement therapy, but that obviously won't happen the second I come out of surgery, so it's going to be a wild ride. That I plan on taking you guys with me because it is vitally important that women stand up for their health. especially their reproductive health. We are not crazy. It is not all in our head. I am fortunate to have an amazing primary care doctor who actually listens to me, and doesn't blow me off all the time. He does sometimes. I mean, when he tells me all the time, he tells me, he says, Jen, can you just fit in one box, please? And I said, no, there's no box for me. And it's true. So, yeah, so I'm gonna take you guys along with me on that journey. So there will be a lot of those things happening. It'll be Talk About It Tuesday, Whatever Wednesday. Those are gonna kind of dominate for a while. I also am having to face another back surgery this year. So that's why I wanted to get my hands done first and foremost, so that, you know, I can do some things. So I'm going to try and have more of the crafts that I love now that my hands are not numb all the time and I'm not having the dropsies and all that stuff. Obviously this one is still really, really sore and still healing up because the stitches were just taken out a couple days ago. So, but it is healing up beautifully. Really, they are. But yeah, so I plan on doing some knitting. My passion is to paint ceramics. So I'm hoping to kind of bring you guys along that journey as well. And we'll still have makeup content and skincare stuff, you know. But we have all this medical stuff going on, and you guys need to come along with me. I think it's very important because women's health, guys, it's not something we need to ignore. You guys need to realize that what you're going through is normal. Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily normal because menopause never existed like this. But they also didn't have the chemicals and garbage in their food. And I'm going to be doing some cooking stuff and all that kind of stuff because I am making changes. I have to. I have no choice. As you guys have watched my journey, I have gained a hell of a lot of weight since I had heart surgery, and it's starting to come down. I have only recently, well, not recently, I've been on Mounjaro for probably about 6 months now, but it was the lowest dose. We just upped my dose. It is working. It is helping, and the goal is to try and use that so that I can get off my insulin, because insulin causes weight gain. It's just a horrible thing. But I hope to bring you guys along with me. Let me know. I want to know your guys' experiences too. Because we aren't in this alone. We're all going through it. So, I will see you guys in the next one. Blessings to you all. I love you guys so very much. And this is, if you've been around since the beginning, we're about to go on an adventure. And you guys know what that means. So, and it's going to be more than the grocery store. Even though that is an adventure anymore. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you guys so much.